Let's give this thing a shot. Tacos make me want to dance. Now, jalapeno is a little spicy. It's good though. All right, taco dance. I got one dance move and it's like this. Here's my final thoughts. First things we got to do when we're doing kind of a barbecue-esque taco is we got to make some toppings for it. And some of the best toppings for barbecue is pickled red onions and pickled jalapenos. And so we're going to keep this really simple. This is going to be a quick pickle. We're going to do it overnight, just like we're going to do the pork butt. But we're going to do equal parts white vinegar and equal parts granulated white sugar. We're going to melt it down, get it all mixed in, and then we're just going to pour it over it, let it cool down, seal it, put it in the fridge. It'll be ready in the morning. So for this batch, we're going to start with 2 cups of each. And we're just going to get it on the eye behind us. We're just going to let it warm up. We got our red onion here. Just want to cut them real thin here. And you want to kind of break them up a little bit. We're just going to drop them in the jar. You really want to kind of pack this thing in. See how our vinegar and sugar mixture is now one. Pull that off and let it cool for a minute while we're finishing up our jalapenos. I like mine pretty thin. That one's got a lot of seeds in it. That's going to be hot. So I'll just throw them in a jar. Some of these bad boys going to be hot. We're going to go with a barbecue style taco using some pulled pork. We're going to start just by getting this thing seasoned up with some Climax AP. You can put plenty of seasoning on this thing because it's a 5-pound butt and you only really get the seasoning on the surface. The salt might penetrate a little bit. You want to make sure you don't under season. Now we're going to get some heavy smoke white label on here. It's a good, slightly sweet rub. I believe it's got cane sugar in it. Might be wrong about that. So this is about a 5-pound pork butt and we're really going to let it run all night. It's about 10:30 right now. We're going to set it on at about 210 degrees on the pellet smoker and just let it run. And we're actually doing a little test cook here for INKBIRD. INKBIRD is a thermometer company, and they recently sent us this 26S. This is their new Wi-Fi thermometer. It connects to the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz frequencies. Had a lot of good luck with this thing using it so far. Honestly, they reached out to us, wanted us to do a review. I basically told them, if I like it, I'll talk about it. If I don't, then I'm not going to talk about it. So it was good enough to make it into a video. So we're actually going to hook this thing up and run a probe into the pork butt. And we're going to run a probe into the pellet cooker to see how consistent it is. And it'll actually chart it for us all night. So we're going to get this thing wired up and on the smoker, and we'll see you in the morning. We're going to cook it bat side down just because it's going to be sitting right over that fire. All right, we got it all hooked up. I got it set to let me know when that pork butt reaches 200 degrees. It's set just to monitor the temp of the pit, which got out of hand because we left it open for so long shooting video. We've got this thing ready to rock and roll, so we'll see you in the morning. We're back. It's been on here for about 10 hours now, maybe slightly more. I haven't done anything to it. No spritz, no nothing. I've only opened it up to look at it, and that's just because I couldn't resist. And so let's take a look in here. Now it is looking super good. I'm loving the bark we're getting on here. When I'm cooking for myself at home, when I'm just doing some good eating, I don't wrap typically. Even my briskets, like I want that good smoky, crunchy bark. This thing is sitting right now at 186 degrees. We're running at about 275 on the pellet grill. I'll be able to show you guys some of the charts that this thing put out because it keeps track of everything. Honestly, I woke up this morning and totally forgot that I even had a pork butt on. I woke up kind of freaked out because I hadn't heard anything. I set some alarms on my phone, but everything was running just like it was supposed to, and everything was just fine. So super excited to get this thing eaten. We're going to give it a little bit more time and then let it rest. Let me show you what kind of pellets we're using today. So you can see this was my top level right here when I started yesterday. This is 10 to 11 hours running 50/50 hickory and royal oak charcoal pellets. So I've still got another probably 12 hours just in this one hopper running it at that temp. So super happy with that. The reason I use the charcoal pellets is because it gives me a little bit better heat control, makes my pellets last a lot longer. I don't have to worry about reloading quite as much. And if I wanted to get those temperatures up a little bit, they're going to burn a little bit hotter than wood. We're going to let it keep riding, and then we're going to make some tacos. All right, so INKBIRD's telling me we're at 205 right now. Everything is probe and tender. This has officially been on for 12 hours. We bumped it up to 275 after about 9 hours. And so let's go ahead and get this thing taken off, and we're just gonna let it rest for a little bit. And then we're gonna make some tacos with it. We got the pork butt pulled. It's been about 12 hours on the pellet grill. If you look right here, you can see that good smoke ring. You can tell it spent a lot of time in that smoke. You can see it there as well. I kept the money muscle off to the side, or at least a piece of it. because that's what I'm gonna put in my taco. Everybody else can have the rest. All right, so to get these things started being built, tortilla is a must. And then on the bottom, we're gonna put some of this money muscle right here. Again, just a little bit. It don't take a lot to make a really full taco. So if you're feeding a crowd, this is a good way to do it. And then we're going to take our pickled red onions that we made last night. I can get it open with my greasy hands. Pickled red onions we made last night. And you can see they started turning really pink instead of red and white. That's how you know they've started really working. Look at that color contrast. It's so pretty. All right, it's good for that. Now, I have a feeling these jalapenos might be a little spicy. I guess we're gonna find out. You can see how they've kind of softened. You can tell that brine has really done a work on them. I'm not going to try to get any more seeds than I want to because I'm feeling like a little girl right now. Ooh, those pickled jalapenos smell good though. Now, we want a little bit of creaminess here. So we're just going to take some crema. We're just going to drizzle it over the top. We're going to finish it off with, again, the best cheese for tacos, some cotija. And that's it. You can add more stuff if you want to. You could add some cilantro, but this is going to just be a good barbecue taco. Let's give this thing a shot. If you can't tell, tacos make me want to dance. Now, jalapeno is a little spicy. It's good though, not too much, though my throat's burning. Yeah, see, this is really simple. You get just that fatty savoriness from the pork. You get the brightness and freshness from the pickled ingredients. A little bit of creamy and extra saltiness from the cheese and the crema. You could add some barbecue sauce. If you like barbecue sauce, that would really not be a bad thing here. Me, I kind of like the natural fresh flavors of it. The barbecue sauce is going to take away a little bit from the freshness, but it's really good. It's exactly what I wanted it to taste like. The pickled ingredients is a must. It just changes it so much. All right, taco dance. I got one dance move and it's like this. Here's my final thoughts. This is a great barbecue taco. It's not going to be overly sweet. There's not a lot of sweet in it other than the pickled ingredients, but it's going to give you that savoriness of the pork with the brightness of that vinegar from the pickle. It's just so good. Well balanced, and you could even layer even more things on top of it. You could put some cilantro on there. You could put some green onions. You could do really whatever you want. You could put different types of meat in there. These two pickled recipes will go good on pretty much any barbecue because it's going to cut some of that fat with that vinegar. It'll help brighten it up a little bit. So that's it for this recipe, guys. As always, I want to encourage you to turn those ideas into realities. Get out there and cook something new. We'll catch you next time.